Hello all, welcome to the presentation of Group 4 Cloud Computing. My name is Shubham and my team members include Surbi, Jatin, Digvijay, Jignesh, Indrakiran and Pushpadeep. Our goal here today is to help you understand the concepts of Boolean retrieval, term vocabulary and posting lists, and web search basics. To understand Boolean retrieval, first let me explain you what information retrieval means. Information retrieval is extracting useful data from unstructured database that satisfies an information need from within large collection. The term unstructured data refers to data which does not have clear, semantically obvious, easy for computer structure. The Boolean model is arguably the simplest model to base an information retrieval system on. There are three pure Boolean operators, and, or, and not. Most systems support simple regular expressions as search term, and the search engine returns all the document that satisfy the Boolean expression. So, does Google use Boolean model? On Google, the default interpretation of query W1 to WN is W1 and W2 and to WN. So the operator here we used is AND operator. Google ranks the result set based on the good hits and bad hits. They rank the good hits higher than the bad hits. Next, now Jatin will explain the exact versus best match.
Hi everyone, my name is Jatin and I'm going to talk about exact versus best match. So what is exact match? So in exact match, query specifies the precise retrieval criteria. In this match, document is either matches or it fails. And the result set we get is a document. It's a set of documents. Now, what is best match? Best match is a match where the query describes either a good or a best matching document. So in the best match, every document is retrieved when the query matches to some degree of it, and the result is the ranked list of the document. Next slide, please. So what are the advantages of the exact match? So exact match can be very efficiently implemented, and it is predictable and easy to explain. The structured queries for pinpointing precise documents. It works when you know exactly what the collection contains and what you are looking for. And what are the disadvantages of the exact match? The query formulation difficult for the most of the user, and difficulty increases when the collection size is increased. And indexing vocabulary same as a query vocabulary. Acceptable precision generally means unacceptable recall. Ranking the model consistently shown to be the better, and hard to compare best and the exact match in the principled way. Now we'll talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the best match. So the best match significantly more effective than the exact match. It is better model than the certainty. Best match is easier to use, and similar efficiency can be achieved in the best match. The disadvantages of the best match are it is more difficult to convey and appropriate cognitive words like control. The full text does not mean a natural language understanding, and efficiency is always less than the exact match. Now, the question is, where are these matches widely used? The answer is the Google AdSense widely uses the exact and the best matches. Now, Pushpadeep will explain the next slides.
Hello everyone. So we'll discuss about web search basics. So once the page is published on the website, it should be provided to the end users so that they can have their queries. So web search basics, basically it includes the information inside the pages. So usually we use anchor text. Anchor text is like the hyperlinks. So why we use hyperlinks? Because it has a better description of text of web page rather than just having the normal text, and it is also highly weighted than the normal text, so it should be it is appeared more in the results. So hyperlink is basically a anchor text which redirects you to the some different page, and we have two different kinds of hyperlinks here. So the one is in links and the other one is out links. So the in links are those hyperlinks that goes into a page, and outlinks are those hyperlinks that goes out of a page. So the distribution of these in links and outlinks is like it is not randomly distributed, but the distribution follows a power law. So what does power law state? So power law states that the I is inversely proportional to the I to the power alpha. So here I is web pages with the in links where the hyperlinks are going into a page, and alpha it is generally 2.1. So now we'll see a web graph connecting. So web graph connecting the web pages, it basically have the shape of port eye. So here you can see that we have different components here, the in component, SCC component, and out component. So web graph is basically divided into three major categories. First one is in, out, and SCC. So the SCC is the strongly connected component. So what does this in component here? So in component is like the web pages which are in component. So web surfer which can pass from in to the SCC component, and out component describes here as a web server, web surfer which can pass from out to out. Means it can move inside out component, and SCC component is where the web servers can pass from SCC to the out, and they can move around freely in SCC component. We also have two other components like the tube and tendrils. So tube here, it is shown here. So what tube is, the web surfer directly goes from in component to the out component, and the tendrils is like these component does not leads nowhere into the from in, and it does not leads from nowhere to the out components. So these are the basics of web graph. Now let's say we have the search engine. Now how does user queries about those results, and how it should provide result to the end user? So for that, here comes my question, like what are the different categories of user search queries? So I will answer those queries. I will answer this question in the next slide. So there are three major categories of search uh, user queries, which are broadly classified in informational queries, navigational queries, and transactional queries. So information queries is like user is interested in having information about something. So let's say he's interested about having details about some kind of disease. So user basically searches for a disease, let's say leukemia, and he wants to assimilate the information from multiple web pages. So this type of query comes under information queries. The other categories is navigational queries. Here user is seeking for a single entity, where user is interested in having some result which can redirect him to the home page of some website. For example, user wants to book a airline, so he searched for the Lufthansa Airlines. So the first result should be like the homepage of Lufthansa, because he wants to go at the Lufthansa Airlines homepage. He is not interested in having the information about Lufthansa Airlines, like whether it is mentioned in news or what kind of blogs are there on Lufthansa. So these kind of queries comes under navigational queries. And the third category which we have here is transactional queries. So transactional queries is like user is looking for some result to perform transaction on websites. So these transactions can be like purchasing a product, downloading a file, or making a reservation. So the search engine should provide the results for this transactional queries. Like it can, the user can make a reservation or like purchase a product. So these are the three main categories of user search queries. And so yeah, that's all from our side.